You are now entering the box. Welcome back inside the box. Today we have Lance with Lake Creek with us. What's going on?
Hola, senor.
Man, the concert at the fair was awesome. We saw you, what was it, Friday? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was crazy. Numbers are up this year, so it was like, we always have a good crowd.
Yeah.
It's always a good time, but man, this year was insane.
How many times did you guys play at the fair?
We usually every year, Friday and Saturday of both weekends. They usually put us in the Miller tent the first weekend, and then the second weekend they move us over to Coors, and they'll bring in some big Chicago band or something,
Mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, I had a heck of a time. Looked like y'all did too.
Yeah, that was great, man. Good. The good crowd, man. Good set list. It's good. Loved all the music.
Yeah, we try to keep things fresh. Yeah. I mean, we're always, I don't know 100% what other bands do, but just from talking every now and then and with other musicians and stuff, I don't feel like a lot of them do this, but that's bold of me to say, but we practice every week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Wednesday, but we all have a kinship. We all love each other and we love hanging out with each other and stuff. We're like a family. So, we like getting together. Yeah. Some bands, I don't know if they can't say that or not, but we really love each other.
We're with each other enough, damn it.
Yeah. So we get together once a week and we're always adding new stuff or, bringing back something we used to do, because we do that too. We'll shuffle stuff. We'll be like, okay, I've done Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt for years, probably since the band started. About a year ago, I said, let's take it off. I mean, I left it on there for so long because there's some songs you just can't get rid of.
Right.
Like Ryan does, Devil Went Down to Georgia. He's been in a band for 7 years. And he's been doing that song ever since it. But, he gets the same reaction every time he does it. People love it. So we don't take it off the list. But so we'll bring stuff back and, keep everything fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you had you threw in Shaboozey and then that Post Malone one, and it was funny because one of our team that was there, he's like loves Post Malone, so I knew he was pumped to that.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do too. That's why when he went country, I mean, I knew Post Malone. You may not know this, but Post Malone was country before he went into rap.
I know. I was like, all right. I was like, how long is it going to be before he goes country again? I knew he had to bring it back.
Yeah, he just had to wait till he's big enough to be able to do whatever he wanted to.
Exactly.
The record companies be like, you want to go country? Okay, go ahead. Do what you got to do. And I don't know if you've heard his new album, but
I haven't listened to it much.
Dude, it's really good because it's not like Post Malone trying to reinvent himself to be a country artist. It's Post Malone doing country. He has those same kind of vocal effects. He likes a lot of reverb. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he'll do doubles and triple overs on his vocals. He does that on the album. So it feels like Post Malone doing country, and you like it. I mean, it's got a good
check
beat.
it out.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't dove into that one yet.
Yeah, but yeah, we love that stuff. I mean, Shaboozey, your boy, he introduced me to Shaboozey.
Funny,
he walked in the shop one day. He's like, "You heard that Shaboozey?" I'm like, "Who?" He said Shaboozey, and I was like, "Oh, check that out." And
I hadn't heard of him. And then when I heard the song, I was like, is this the rapper? Did he just like reinvent himself that used to do, what was it, the rapper's name that sang that? Basically, that's, yeah, it was Jaquan. It was like this rapper back in the day that was basically somewhat of the same song, like the chorus and stuff was kind of the same. And I was like, man, did he just reinvent himself and come out strong? I was like, that was brilliant if he did, but it wasn't. It was a completely different person.
Take everything I did and turn it into country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I'd never heard of him either. And I guess, when I looked him up, when Ryan told me about it, I guess he was on, oh man, what's her name? Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce. He was on Beyonce's album with her doing something, and I don't know if that was his segue in. I didn't dig too much into it, but I don't know if that was his segue in. I mean, he's doing a lot better in the country world than she was. But.
Yeah, I listened to some of his old music after kind of that one, and he's got some pretty good songs. You know, some lean a little bit more towards kind of hip hoppy a little bit, but there's still that country feel, country sounds in them and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does. Last of My Kind or something like that. And with an artist I really love, Paul Cawthon, country artist. He's really good. He's married to a woman out of Peoria, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but Paul Cawthon, if you get a chance to hear him, he's fun.
Yeah.
He's got a song called Cocaine Country Dancing.
I know him or not.
Roll up to
I'm not great with the like actual artist names, but I'll know the songs, you know what I mean, and just be able to sing the songs.
Yeah.
Different than my dad. My dad freaking knew everybody. We'd be in the car, you know, and he'd be like, all right, if you could tell me the name of this band, you get $1. If you could tell me the album this is on, you get $1. Like, he's, you know, incentivized. My sister, she was 6 years older than me. She's like, she's played the game so much.
Fair.
She's like, everyone knows everything, getting all the money. Yeah, he was obsessed with music.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the same way. I mean, I really got to start listening to an artist to remember their name, you know. Plus, especially now. Yeah. I mean, there's just... You get rained on with artists anymore, you know, whether it's YouTube or, you know, they're not even big yet. You know, you're hearing them on YouTube or whatever. There's so many artists out there anymore. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy how someone can just pop off from TikTok or something now, not have any music hardly, and just all of a sudden be on top of the world.
Yeah, the industry. I mean, and you're part, you know, the social media, you know, the business you guys are in. Y'all are part of that, but it's so crazy how much the music industry has changed. You know, back in the day, somebody'd find you, hear about you through word of mouth or whatever, and some big, you know, recruiter
tour all over the place.
From the record company would come in and check you out and love you and just throw money at you. Say, all right, we're gonna throw money at you, and you know, you're gonna take off. And now it's just, you know, it's just so.
Don't they look a lot at like your followers, and it's like a completely different game. I think it's like that for models too. You know?
Luke Combs got his big start like that way. I mean, he did. I forget what it was called, but it was something out there that you could only do like 15 seconds. Is it Chive or?
Oh, like one of those. Like little competition type things?
No, it was like he was posting videos, but it was like 15-second increments or something like that. One of the earlier TikTok kind of things.
Yeah, what did TikTok used to be again? Musically. There was Musically, and then there was, what was the other one that like went, what? Vine.
There we go. That's what it was. It was the Vine, because I don't know where I got Chive from, but that's how he got his start, is that he was just putting snippets of his music on there, and he got so many followers that he took off. Well, same with Teddy Swims. You probably heard
that's
Teddy
an early doing it on Vine too. That would have been an early early artist successful from that.
Time gets away from you, but Luke's been out for a while now.
Yeah,
so.
I guess he has. I was listening to him. I think it was him talking the other day. How he was talking. I don't remember if it was on a podcast or what, but he was talking about how, you know, he makes music about what's going on in his life, and he's like, he's talking about how his music's a lot different now, because it's like family and kids. He's like, it's hard to go make a drinking song. He's like, when that's not what I'm in the middle of, you know what I mean? He's like, people want another one, but it's just, and I mean, I understand that for sure.
Yeah, it's, you know, that's the way a lot of artists are, you know, if they're writing for themselves and don't have somebody else doing it for them.
How do you feel about that?
Having other people write your music for you? I mean, I'm conflicted. I mean, you know, I write all my own stuff. Obviously, you know, I'm not big enough to have somebody come throw a song at me, but I don't know. I think it'd be harder to put your heart and soul into something when somebody else wrote it.
I always kind of had an indifferent feeling about it. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It seems like it's part of, like, someone in the band should be.
I guess, you know, being in
I get it.
Predominantly covers is what we do, you know, because, you know, around here, I mean, I wish originals were bigger around here, but I also understand people want to go out and they want to hear things they're used to, and you can't, you know, if you had solid followers that were going with you everywhere you were going, you could probably beat your originals into them a little bit more. You know, they hear them enough where they kind of start going, okay, I want to buy this song, or I want to listen to it. But they're only hearing it a couple times, and people want to hear stuff they know. And so I don't frown upon it, you know, but I wish it was, you know, we have those few fans that really do. You know, they come in, they're like, well, why don't you do more of your originals and stuff? And we really like to.
It almost seems like you have to just, if you're like going to try to become big doing originals, it's almost like you can't even do covers. You almost just have to make the commitment. Would you say
You
if that was...
do. My theory always was, when I started Lit Creek, I wanted to do originals.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get into it. I've wrote songs, and I'm a songwriter. I've always tinkered around with that stuff. And so my game plan was, when I started this band, I was like, look, I want to do originals, but I know those we can't just go out and do originals. So I was like, so here's the thing I want to do. We're going to start out as a cover band, and we're not even going to work on originals. And we're going to do covers for a while, and we're going to build our following up, and we're going to get people that want to come out and see us. Once we get a crowd that's following us around and, we're pulling numbers in, then we'll start sprinkling some originals.
Yeah.
What we've got them hooked in. Hey, well, we got you here, the old bait and switch. And that's what we did. And, it really took off. It did good. We went to Nashville and things like that, and we had a good time with it and stuff. And we still do originals, but sadly to say it's our priority would not be the truth. And our recording studio, he died in a car accident, and that kind of makes you go, huh? He was the guy we always used, and awesome guy, really nice studio, very professional. He worked with people in Nashville, so you had somebody solid, you knew, and you knew they did good work, and you knew that they were in the industry, and they knew their stuff, and so when he passed away, that just kind of put a damper on things,
I can understand that.
But
someone that you're used to working with, especially in that kind of field.
You call him a friend, he's a friend, and so
that's sad.
he actually played. I had a little side project called Spring Patch Serenade. It was just me and Ryan, the guy in the overalls in the band, and then Polly, she played fiddle, and we would just go out and do acoustic shows and kind of tinker around. And Cam is his name. Cam came in and he played bass acoustic.
Nice.
So he even played on stage with us. He was a good friend. So just took a hit, but we actually talked about it, and me and Ryan actually talked about it on the way to Missouri. We had a show there this past weekend, and it was like, man, we need to lock in some originals. We need to get back at it, because that's a good thing to have under your belt too. People can check you out and be like, wow, they're not just a cover band.
Yeah.
These guys can do their own music. We don't have to follow blueprint.
You guys did a pretty good music video a while ago. What I'm trying to think. Was that 2 years ago?
We did.
Time flies by.
Yeah, it does. Let Me Be was our big one.
It's like in a barn, I think.
That's Let Me Be.
Okay,
yeah, where there's a big group of people in the barn and stuff. Yeah, that was Let Me Be.
One.
That was our big Nashville going. That was the song that got us some recognition there. Yeah.
How, so you guys have played in Nashville. How far away have you played before?
Man, before COVID, we were everywhere. We went up to Green Bay. We were going down to Missouri. We were, Indiana, Midwest, but we were regional. We would travel a lot.
Do you have somebody that tries to, a manager or anything that tries to book shows for you, or you just handle it?
I handle it. Yeah, it's all word of mouth. Just people, us getting out there. Nash Next really did us a favor. That opened eyes to some people. Even now, we go to the Lake of the Ozarks and we play, and there'll be people from Kansas City and areas like that. State Fair, we play the State Fair. I'll always get people from up around Chicago and stuff hitting us up and stuff. So it's all pretty much been word of mouth. It's been lucky. Somebody hit me up the other day and said, I just want to figure out, we're wanting to start and get in the music scene and stuff, and wanted to know, how do you do it? How do you book shows? How do you reach out to these? And I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I'm spoiled. I ain't had to call nobody. Yeah. Maybe that's bragging, but I'm like, I ain't had to call nobody in years. I just.
You guys are pretty booked up, right?
Yeah, we're about a year out.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
You just wait for it because we've been at this for. Well, I started the band in 2013.
Yeah, I was going to ask how long ago you started it.
And it was late in the year. I think our first gig was in November. But we really started taking off 2014. Maddie joined the band in March of 2014.
How many people were originally part of it?
There's always been, counting myself, 6 of us in the band. But now we got a keyboard player, so there's 7. And then when Polly comes to play, the fiddle player, that's what she does. She plays the fiddle all the time, and she travels. She was at the tattoo convention in Indianapolis one day, time. Yeah. She'd be clear up in Iowa.
Just playing the fiddle.
Yeah, she just travels and plays the fiddle. Yeah, so
that's cool.
She's with us a lot of the times, especially for the bigger shows and stuff. So that's 8 members altogether.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I hadn't. I noticed there was. I feel like from the last time I saw you, because the last time I saw you guys was at Motorhead's, and that was a while ago. It was actually right after I got the snip. I was like 2 days later. I was like, I remember I was meeting somebody out there, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll come. Screw it. It wasn't too bad though. I think it was during final. It was during the basketball March Madness, maybe.
Yeah, I remember that because we were waiting for Ron, the owner. He's like,
there was a game on.
He said, we're going to have the game on the big screen, man. He goes, I'm sorry, you can't do anything. So I was like, no, that's cool, man. Whatever, you just tell us when we can do it, and we'll do it.
It was funny. You guys were playing, and a guy in front of me over here was just holding his phone up for everybody so they could watch the band and see the game. That was good, though. But I feel like from when I saw you at the fair that, there was an extra person or two up there that weren't with you before. Yeah, this is my favorite version of Lick Creek. I mean, it's just been, we've gone through different members and stuff, and just this is the good one. And it's cool because, we've been at this for so long, and it just continues. I've never been in the 10 plus years now that we've been together. I've never been a year out on booking. Yeah. It's just growing and growing and growing, which is awesome. But it's we're blessed. We have a lot of fun. Does have you been in any other bands before this? Yeah. I'm from Missouri, from the Lake of the Ozarks area. I moved up here in 2010. I had a band called Haywire, and we played around Columbia, Missouri, in that area. Nice. And then moved here for work and had to quit, and then that business went belly up in 2012. And then, we were just, the music scene here is insane. Springfield, Illinois is insane with its music scene. People around here are spoiled. They don't realize it. I think if people realized how much they got it, they'd get out and catch more live music. Because where I came from, college town, it's a lot of DJs, and you had a couple bars that had live music. There was some niche stuff like piano bars and things like that. I came up here, man, and damn near every bar has got an area for live music. You're more inclined to find live music around here than you are a DJ or anything like that. Yeah, I never really thought about it. Oh, yeah. And so when the business went belly up, me and my wife at the time, we just was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, man, I love the music scene here. I would at least like to stick around and explore that for a little bit. And so went to a live open mic one night at the old Cuckoo's Nest. It was rough. Yeah. But went there one night and sang one song and sat down, and the guy, a drummer, he comes up to me, he goes, man, you want to start a band? And I was like, that's actually why I'm here. I'm looking to find some musicians, and took off from there, and I never left. It grew quick. I got Maddie on board, and she's a hell of a singer. And where'd you guys meet? Where'd you meet her? I met her through what used to be a buddy of mine. He said, hey, there's a female singer, and he goes, I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Maddie Brown. And I was like, no. I was new to the scene. Yeah. He said, he goes, she works at my bar. He owned a bar. He said, she works at my bar. We do open mics on this night. You should come out and check her out. And we went there, and me and the drummer actually, and we kind of tinkered around. We did a couple songs. She was bartending. She hadn't sang anything. And I was sitting at the table, and I forget what I was doing. I was doing it on my phone, and I heard somebody, Maddie, get up and sing one. Maddie, get up and sing one. And I'm not easily impressed, especially, when it comes to vocals and stuff. I'm just not. And I was sitting there looking at my phone, and she started singing, and I was like, holy crap, who is this? I put my phone down, looked up, and I was like, oh, damn, that's Maddie. Okay. Nice. Okay. So the couple nights later, I think it was because that was during the week. It was that weekend. They had a live band and stuff, and I went there, and I said, hey, I hear you ain't got anything going on. If you're interested, and she said, let me think about it. And she called a couple days later and said she'd like to at least try it out, So that was it. That was history. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I never really thought about the whole live music scene locally here that we are spoiled by it. It is. It's I tell people all the time, it's like a little Nashville here. I mean, if you think about it,
you try to think about bars that don't have a place for live music around here, you're harder to think about a bar that doesn't than a bar that does.
Yeah.
You know, it's generally they've got, outdoor, a beer garden, or they got a stage inside, even Alamo's a small place. They got a place for music in there.
Yeah. I always just kind of took it as a requirement.
Yeah. No, you go other
like,
places, man.
Yeah.
They usually just got
never thought about
speakers in the bar and a DJ, standing in a corner, spinning the tracks. And that's usually all they got. And so it's pretty nice. I like it, and it's just insane, and it cracks me up going off on a tangent here, but this is also the only town. This town is saturated with live music, good live music, but not too many bars around here charge a cover charge at the door, and you wish you would like to see more of that. You don't go to the movies and the movies say, oh yeah, you get to watch the movie for free. You got to buy our popcorn and our soda, but the movie's free. And that's basically what bars are doing. You have to buy the popcorn and the soda, but the movie's free. I wish you'd see bars charge a cover charge more around here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, because there's so many, maybe they feel like they'd almost all have to get together like, here's what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I talked to some old dogs before, and they've said, I've heard someone say that they used to charge cover charges around here, but I think some bars stopped doing it to get people to come to their bars, and it just turned into a thing. But if you travel outside of Springfield, any bar, for the most part, any bar, it's bold to say, but 95% of the bars we play when we leave Springfield, there's always a cover charge.
Yeah.
You don't, whether it's $5, $10, there's always a cover charge. Motorheads charges a cover charge. Mm-hmm. They don't have any trouble. People. I mean, hell, we pack the place every time we're there.
I think when I went, I think it was that time. It was, because I was leaving, and the lady's like, "Are you coming back?" And I was like, "I don't think so." She's like, "Can I take your band?" She's like, "We're one in, one out." Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit, okay." I was like, "I guess I'm out of here." Cut my band off and gave it to her.
Yeah, Motorheads is a hopping place. Ron's done a good thing.
Isn't that amazing out there?
Oh, it's crazy.
It's such a production too.
Man, he's got in that screen what some people probably have in their bars alone.
Yeah. Yeah, we've used that for a few different things. We did. We hosted a SILSA, Central Illinois Customer Service Association. We hosted an event out there and got to use that. We put all the Big Ten games on there, or whatever. March Madness games. Yeah. Sorry, March Madness. Yeah. And that was cool, because Illinois was doing well, so we were able to have a fundraiser and raise quite a bit of money for people to come out, and they ate. And I think we raised a few $1,000.
That's awesome.
For this charity, that Ron wanted to donate to, so that was cool.
Yeah.
It was a good time getting to watch, basketball on the big screen.
Yeah, you get to have a good time, and you get to raise some money for a good cause. You know, that always feels good. It's outside the norm, You're not just helping people get, in my case, people buy beer, that's our job, get people to buy beer. But
I could see that, though, with the cover charge. I mean, I understand not doing it, but also in doing it, the band, you could potentially either get better bands or at least pay the band. I don't know what bands get paid. A normal band, I'm sure it's a wide array here, because there's so many different ones. Yeah. But and then at least maybe they would get paid a little bit more where they should be at, for someone that's maybe good but just isn't getting those bookings or hasn't got the
depends on your
exposure yet.
Yeah, it depends on your draw. If you draw good, the owners around here, they're you can't complain. They're all good and they're reasonable. They know, all right, you're going to sell me a lot of beer, so I'm going to take care of you. And that's because that's your job. And I think musicians, I ain't gonna say all, but some of them lose sight of that. It's I want to play what I want to play. I want to do what I want to do. And that's good and all, but sprinkle that in there. Do what the people want to hear. Mm-hmm. There's some songs we do. I if it was just me being able to play what I want to play, I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't do them. Yeah. Not that I hate them, because I won't do a song that I hate, because I like put my heart in everything I do and every song I sing. But if I hated it, I wouldn't do it. But you got to do, you're there to entertain, and you got to give the people what they want. and have a good time, and because your job is to sell beer. That's what your damn job is. You're there to entertain people, keep them there, have a good time, and buy beer.
Yeah.
And that's what you're there for. So if a band does good, the bar owners don't have any problem. But that's I see these poor bar owners just because they're trying to bring new things in, and the scene around here, man. If they don't know you. You could be the best damn band in the world, but ain't nobody gonna come see you.
Right.
You got to pound Springfield, Illinois. You got to play and start getting that word of mouth and get people to okay, I'll come out and see you because my buddy said you're good or whatever. But
that word of mouth going.
Yeah, but once you get them around here, they're loyal fans. Some of the best people. So.
Always looking for something fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What's funner than going out and drinking and
What's been your do you have a favorite show that you've ever played?
Oh, man. A lot of good ones. We opened up for Billy Bob Thornton one time. He's a good dude. He was just fun to talk to.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's funny.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton and the Boxmasters. My brain... there's so many shows. I've been asked that before, and it's a hard one. The state fair is so fun. It's favorite shows. I mean, this year was incredible. I mean, the crowd was insane. The energy we were getting, but we're just blessed, and we have a lot of good shows, and people seem to enjoy what we're doing. So they all just feel so good. I'm sure if I sat down and put a lot of time into it and thought about it, that there's just Nash Next was incredible. I don't know if you'd call that a show because we were, there in a competition, but, you're in Nashville, they're putting a camera in your face, and, you got people out front chanting Lick Creek, and that they're, I don't know what you call that, not televising, but they had the show on the internet and all that, but.
Broadcasting it or something.
Yeah, broadcasting it, and, just knowing that you had that opportunity, It was a mixed blessing because we loved it and we liked the attention, but that record, we had to sign a record contract before we did the show, just in case you won the show. You already had the contract, that you couldn't slip out of their fingers,
Yeah.
And that thing was scary as hell. I didn't like that record contract, so you basically signing your soul away.
Yeah.
They owned you. They owned everything you've done. They own everything you're gonna do. If I put pen to paper ever, they owned all that. Any of my designs, because I design a lot of the stuff for our shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Anything I'd ever done, they owned it. And we had to pay them back for anything we did. So when we went to the studio, if we recorded, we owed them. We had to pay for the studio time. Any expenses we had on the road, if they paid for it, we had to pay them. It was just like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah,
so.
I've heard stories about, bands and rappers with those contracts just getting completely
they eat you alive.
Yeah,
they'll eat you alive.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's hard. That would be such a hard decision. You know what I mean? And I understand. So I get why people get screwed so much, because if you're in a band, especially a band that's struggling and wants to make it, has been trying forever, and all of a sudden they have this opportunity presented to them, and it's what do you do?
Yeah, you do what everybody probably would do. You know it's a bad decision, but you don't know if you're ever going to get another chance.
Yeah.
We all knew it. I mean, we looked at that record contract, and I was like, what the hell? And, it was like, wow, we own you.
Yeah.
We own the clothes.
You are basically fucked.
Yeah, we own your clothes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's but we signed it. And
then what it basically just said, if you win.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, it didn't really say if you win. It was just it was Big Machine Records is who it was. And I mean, at the time, Scott Bichette owned it. He had, Taylor Swift was on that record label at the time. Florida Georgia Line. I mean, these artists that were big. Big Machine Records was the biggest record company, for Nashville,
crazy,
for country music. And so it was just a straight record contract. It wasn't a if you, but they just had everybody sign record contracts, and then they were null and void if you lost.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
So did that? Who ended up? Do you know remember the name of the band?
Radio Romance was who it was. It was.
I've never heard of them.
They were good. I mean, they were pretty, and they were pretty, and it was a country version of a boy band. I'm not spitting on them at all. They did good, but I mean, it just so you can get kind of what it was. It was like a boy band version of country music, and I never heard of them after that. I'd heard they did some touring and stuff, but I guess nothing, because we were on the second season, and I think they did it for 3 or 4 seasons, and you just never heard anything out of any of those winners.
How long ago was that?
We were there in 2017.
Okay,
is when we did it. But
interesting.
Yeah. So, but honestly, if I'd have known, if I knew for a fact we just would have taken off and made it big, I'd say, it sucked that we didn't win, but I'm glad. I mean, we're happy, and we make, we get treated well. We get paid for our time, put it that way, and we got good people around us. So,
well, you guys have put in a lot of friggin' effort.
Yeah.
You put in those hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we love what we do, and it's just so much fun, and we always have a good time.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to do when you love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So what's next?
We're going to be doing some
special coming up here.
Doing some originals. We're going to be working on more originals, and just constantly changing things up. Come out to a show. You'll had several people tell me, even Dan, Auto Editions. He told me, he goes, what I love about coming to your shows? He goes, I always know I'm going to get something new.
Yeah.
I'm always going to hear something
I texted him at the show. I was like, you just got some free advertisement. Lynn shouted you out.
Yeah, he said that. I went to work, and he said, I heard you gave a shout out to Auto Editions. I appreciate that. And I'm like, how'd you know that? Hell, I even forgot about it. He laughed. He goes, Andrew hit me up. He texted me about 11 something. Said you did a shout out.
Make sure you get some credit there.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I know. I felt bad. I said, because I say, Ryan over here from Ubox, and I don't even mention them and what they do. I say, Auto Editions, and if you ever go to Auto Editions, I said, I felt bad because I was like, you got any social media needs? Holler out at Ubox.
That was funny though. Started giving Ryan a bunch of shit. I'm like, you're famous now, dude.
Ryan, I'll be seeing Ryan there at some shows sometimes. He's always off on the side or tucked away somewhere, but
it's kind of the good spot over there, though.
It is.
Because you don't got to fight the crowd. You had a little, and you're still a little close. You
can feel that breeze a little bit coming through there.
Oh yeah, that was nice, beautiful, fair weather. Oh man, it was great.
Between the weather and they got some pretty good acts this year in the grandstands, and
they really went all out. I feel
they did. It was insane. We did. It was our best year. Miller Tent. The tent manager said that was probably one of their best nights they've ever had when we played there. Yeah. And then the veterans, we raised, they said, because, let's see, that first Miller Tent, it was Friday night. It's just sometimes, it's almost like church. You didn't go in there with a game plan on how we want to steer the crowd, what we want to do. It's just sometimes it just goes that way. And
was that Veterans Day there or something? Or what were you, they were doing a fundraiser?
Saturdays when they had the guy from the movie, his story was on Black Hawk Down, the man, I wish I could remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Dave. It starts with an S. I feel bad I can't remember his name, but it was Somalia. He was one of those guys, that went back in and got those soldiers. But Friday night, we just, Maddie did Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, and people started chanting USA.
Yeah.
I mean, we went in, we did Jamie Johnson in color. Everybody kept chanting USA. I busted the Star Spangled Banner out for no damn reason. Just did it right there. And I
love that. Though.
Yeah. And it's fun when you do that. And we came back Saturday and they said, we have raised the most money we've ever seen for the veterans. They said one jar had over $1,000 in tips.
Oh, that's right, because the tips were for the veterans. Yeah. I remember that.
Tips, yeah. And then Coors, they also, they don't, hats off to them because their beer sales, that goes to help out the veterans and stuff.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
All right. Well, we helped out the veterans.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your next show coming up?
We are in Sunday. We're going to Hill Prairie Winery. They would just do a little Sunday fun day thing.
Yeah, that's
play
awesome.
from like 2 o'clock to then. We'll be out at Motorhead's September 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got a couple weekends off after Sunday, and then we come back September 13th. to
Motorhead's coming back strong.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming in today. It was
Man,
great
thank you
chatting,
for having
learn
me,
a little
man.
bit more about the band, and
Been a pleasure.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, any audio installation needs, backup cameras, leather, anything like that,
Auto editions.
Auto editions!
How about you guys? What's your website for Lick Creek?
LickCreekCountry.com.
Okay, they got get swag on there.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
get your swag on there. Yeah, we try to sell our T-shirts. We're getting ready to come out with some new designs. So if people want to hold off, give us about a month, and then get on there, and we'll have all new designs and
Nice.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even get into it, but yeah, he does some awesome work at Auto Editions also.
Yeah, I got to give a plug since I'm, going past my lunch a little bit. And you're okay. I'm just saying. But yeah, do a little shout out for
Lunch
Dan.
Break podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, really appreciate it. Love your guys' music. You guys put on a great show.
Appreciate you.
And yeah, we'll have to have you back sometime again here.
Love it.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Lane.
Thank you, Andrew.